going to be starting some petunia seeds, salmon petunia and 100-star mixed petunia. The photos look pretty. I did try and plant these. This is very late in the season, but of the 3 packets I ordered, only 1 germinated. So they very kindly sent me a replacement. So as I said, they're a little late in the season right now, but I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to use these 12-cell containers. We have a water reservoir, goes in here, and then there's a lid dome that goes on top with a vent in it. Got these really pretty inexpensively at Amazon. So some I'm going to be planting in these, 1 tray for each of the types. And I'm also going to put a few in my AeroGarden, which I'll do in a minute. But let's get started on this one. I'm going to mix it with a little vermiculite. So these are the 2 seeds that we'll be using. One of them is pelleted, and you can see the seeds are easier to see, they're easy to handle. They're called pelleted, and it's basically to just put a coating around each seed. A lot of times it's dry clay or some biodegradable something. Just no special growing thing, it just helps you see every seed. And as you can see from the other pack, the seeds are dust. They just look like dust. But these are the 2 kinds we'll be using today. So I am going to put some in here. Let me get this open. There we go. Then you take the tray and the water reservoir and you fill it about 1/3. I usually put it to the bottom of the words, the bottom of the letters that are there. Nothing specific. I'll do this so you can see it. And basically you just float this in the water. I don't pre-wet the soil, it's just a lot easier to work with it this way, and all that water is going to suck up. Inside, let me get a dome. These are the domes, humidity domes. And you can open it so that it gets some air circulation once it starts germinating, and you can close it so it's just a closed basic humidity dome, and it works really well on getting seeds started. That'll go inside. Get this other one done. The other packet. Okay, and these are the ones that are harder to see. All right. Float this in. Soak up a little. That's good. And then another humidity dome. And these pieces all come separate, but pretty simple, self-explanatory to put them on. Open, or that's closed and open. So obviously we'll close it for this portion. All right, so these will go inside under the grow lamps, and then we'll get started on the AeroGarden. So the next step I'm going to do is use the AeroGarden same seeds, a few that are left in each of the packets here for petunias. The AeroGarden's pretty neat. Let me show you some of the parts here. So you've got the water reservoir, and it fits in here. It's all pretty simple. And it'll plug into the back here. And then it's got this. This is the power to it. And this is the top. Seed pods will go in here. And this just is where you can put water in the reservoir as it needs it. And the water pumps through. Take this apart. This can pull up, by the way, too. Make it a little easier to access. The water comes up, gets pumped up through here, which underneath, it's got this. The water goes in here, and then it comes out. There's a little spout on every opening, and it will basically, the water will cycle down the plant. So it's constantly having, not constantly, it has moving water several times during the day. It's all very self-explanatory. When you turn it on, it has, it'll ask you questions. How many hours of sun during the day do you want? What are you starting? Herbs, flowers, fruit. I mean, it'll ask you, and you literally just do the select. So it's all pretty self-explanatory and easy to use, and I really like it. So I'm just going to take it apart for this part. We'll set this aside because I'm going to be setting that up inside the house. And this part comes with the kit, but I've used it so many times, and I do not reuse these. So I buy replacements. But that is what fits in here in the holes. And then you have a sponge. Well, I call it a sponge, but this is where the seeds will grow. And the sponge fits in here. And in the center of the sponge, you can see a hole where you put the seeds. So put the seed in, put it in the pod, put it down. And then we have stickers so you can write what it is you planted in that particular one, peel it off, and then stick it right on the top. So let's go ahead. I prefer to put the seeds in the sponge before I put them in and then drop them in. It's just, and it may just be me, it's difficult to try to get the seeds into the hole when it's down there. So I do it this way. So we're going to start with the pelleted salmon petunia seeds. These are the ones that are going to be easier to see. Remember, the others are dust. So let's see what we've got. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to put 2 seeds in each one. There we go. Gosh. 2 seeds in the hole. And then this goes in the cage, which then gets down there. Next sponge. Seeds in the hole. In the cage. Yeah, and one more. This one, actually, I have extra seeds, so I think I'll go back to the first one and put the seeds in that one. Put in the extra one in that one. No sense in it going to waste. And obviously, as they grow, you can thin them out, whichever ones grow the best. Yay. Whichever ones don't, oh well. Well, maybe I lost it. So I'm just going to do PET for petunia and SAL for salmon on these. Here, I'm going to bring it in, plug it in. I'll put water in the reservoir, and I will program it to flowers, 10 hours a day of light. And then it's automatic. You don't have to worry about it. Just walk away. And every couple days you check inside inside here to make sure you have enough water. That's pretty much it. Simple. Okay, so petunias planted 2 different ways. It's an experiment. Which one will grow best? I almost forgot. You put one of these little plastic humidity domes over each plant. So I just wanted to show you where everything ended up. Bottom shelf 2 left are the petunias that we planted. And over here on the windowsill, you can barely see it, I'm sure, is the AeroGarden. So petunia seeds planted both ways, and it's all an experiment. We'll see what happens. Just so you're aware, this other stuff, I'm doing some experiments on propagating a few plants in the yard that I haven't tried before. So we'll go through that on another video. Some seeds collected from another state, some that, these are the ones that were dying out in the garage that I thought might have a chance of surviving still. And I am seeing some growth, so we'll see what happens. It's all an experiment. Side note, I know some of you think it might be weird, but I used to love taking a bath over the last few years. Getting in is one thing, getting out was just hazardous, so I became a shower person. So this has obviously become a grow zone for me. Several of the plants have just always been in here. I've just liked the way this area looks. This shelving, my very sweet husband got me when I was trying to rescue some of the plants from the garage in mid-July. So this hopefully will be temporary. It will be temporary. This, all of whatever I am growing, and I will be starting a few new things, we'll end up moving back out into the garage, into my grow station out there. This is all just temporary with a few, as I said, experiments I'm trying out. But yes, this is where my grow room is at the moment.